and welcome to your weekly dose of sunshine. Hi, everybody. I am Sami Vecchiolla. I am a real estate agent in Westchester County, and I bring you this wonderful broadcast to bring some sunshine into your life every Friday. And I bring on some awesome guests. Today, I have a very special friend that I met through Toastmasters, which is an amazing organization. If you haven't heard of it, it's been around since 1924, and it helps anybody who's looking to improve their leadership and public speaking skills. And I met actually my guest at my own parents' house, and we're going to explain that story later, but she's an amazing, glowing burst of sunshine herself. Her name is Elizabeth Phillips, and I'm going to bring her on.
Hi. Good morning, Sami. Thanks for having me. I feel like I'm right next door to you. Well, I am.
You are.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on to Dose of Sunshine. I'm so excited to have you.
Cool. Yeah. Great opportunity. Thanks for reaching out.
Of course. So tell us a little bit about yourself so people can get to know who you are.
Okay. Well, I'm a native New Yorker, and these days, pretty proud to be. Born and raised in Peekskill, and I am the youngest of 5, and
wow.
I'm also married with 3 adult children. They're all adulting in their own way. And my husband, his name is John Branscombe. And so, yeah, we're here in the Hudson Valley, happy. It's a good place to be. Like in spite of what we know that we're still, struggling and dealing with in terms of this pandemic. But there's been a lot of silver linings, and definitely I can speak to my gratitude, right? That I have not lacked. I've had some moments, but I'm thankful.
Yeah, you definitely. I didn't know that you were born and raised in Peekskill too.
Yes, yep. I'm a native daughter of Peekskill.
That's awesome. So you've seen. Good morning, everyone. I see a lot of people commenting. My mom says, "Hi, Dan and Liz." So I'm assuming that's me. Thanks, Mom. And Lisa Ferry commented, "Good morning, ladies." But that's so. I had no idea that you were born and raised in Peekskill. I was born and raised in Yorktown, which is the next town over, pretty much. And Peekskill is beautiful. There's such a great waterfront there, and I mean, there's been a lot of changes over the last couple of years. I'm sure you've seen a lot of.
Absolutely. As you think about it in terms of whether it's a renaissance, folks will speak to the gentrification, but all in all, the vibrancy and the community building, there's so many positives. So, it's a town, it's a city that's been very welcoming in lots of regards. So definitely been family friendly. It's been a great experience for me. So I'm thankful to have been able to, raise my children, and to really just have some roots. That's what it's about for me, having some roots in Peekskill.
That's awesome. And so we met through Toastmasters. You came to a holiday party that my parents hosted for all the Toastmaster members. And I don't know if you want to touch on like what we fell in love with each other over.
Well, yeah, one of the key ingredients. This is a tribute to Sami and her culinary skills, because I saw this platter. There was a huge array of spread that folks brought and shared, but what really captured my eye were these amazing potato chip cookies. Now, I had no idea what I was in store for, but let me just tell you, you will never be the same. And then I was like, well, where did these come from and who made these? And then when she told me what's in it, I was floored when you shared butter, and more butter. I was just
lots and lots of butter.
So I have to choose the right time and place for that. But yeah, that's
absolutely.
How we know. Yeah,
and I attribute that recipe to my mother-in-law. So I actually discovered potato chip cookies because over the holidays, my in-laws are Italian, and so there's our immediate family is like 27 people. So we have a holiday dinner, and it's the same thing as a Sunday dinner, and there's just so many people, and everybody brings stuff. But what's most incredible is the amount of cookies.
Oh.
I am a cookie monster. I love cookies.
Uh-huh.
Any kind of cookies are fantastic. I'll try anything once. And when she presented me with these potato chip cookies, I was like, that's not going to be good. Oh, was I wrong?
Yes.
They're so good. And so for my bridal shower, I tricked everyone into thinking I really wanted recipes, but all I really wanted was the potato chip cookie recipe, and I got it. So that's how I ended up sharing it with you, which is so awesome. I'm so happy that we
Yeah.
got to share that because, it's one thing to break bread with someone, but to break bread that's actually the most delicious thing that's ever been created. A totally
Yeah,
different
yeah,
story.
totally memorable. Yeah, yeah. It was a good night, good time, good fellowship. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Y'all got hosting down pat. And actually there's another story that I remember when you shared the meaning of the pineapple as a gift. You delivered this amazing speech and I was just like, ooh, this woman, I was like, she's got it. She's got it. So that definitely that stayed with me as well. So I
That's
would be
awesome.
very intentional when I offer someone a pineapple.
Oh,
Funny,
my
I
mother-in-law
see
is
it all the
watching
time.
too. Look, that's my mother-in-law, Linda. She's got the secret
Ah,
recipe. She's awesome. But the pineapples, so I love pineapples. So, I mean, the S, wrong way. The S behind me has pineapples on it. Pineapples to me are a symbol of welcome,
mhm.
but I'll have to tell the story another time. But I'm so happy that that captivated you and you were able to
Yes.
remember it because
Mhm.
I just think anything to welcome people and bring people together is what I'm all about. So I love that you remembered that. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's something that we definitely share. A lot of my work in the profession of public health. I'm a health educator. I work with Hudson River Healthcare, and we're a federally qualified health center. I serve as the director for health education. So for me, folks are like, health education, what is that? It's really about seeing where people's needs are. Sometimes it's to listen, sometimes it's to coach. It's being able to encourage folks to be able to, my mantra is helping people with healthy lifestyles, one step at a time.
I love that.
Often I am a resource in terms of researching materials or facilitating groups. And so it's about people. And we speak in terms of our philosophy as being patient centered. And that's something that has definitely been a value within our organization and for me personally. So when I'm connecting with folks in the community through volunteer work, through Toastmasters, it's supporting people where they are. So all those things matter.
I love that. It's not trying to transform people into these like crazy magic differences. It's meeting people where they are and seeing how you
Mhm.
can make one slight or as you say, one step to
Yeah.
make a healthier lifestyle. That's it. That's
Yes.
so
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Behaviors are interesting, and as I'm learning about myself still, I'm of a certain age, and I'm
29?
also plus 29 plus. But no, I'm 53, and I'm thankful because I'm also realizing, what it means to be able to have the independence, to be medication free. So those goals are for me about being able to move more. I've had some struggles during this time of sheltering in place and missing out on the physical activity that I took for granted that was just kind of built into my day. So I'm learning to be more intentional, and I'm having to do my own positive self-talk about meditation, about being able to move and just forgiving myself too.
One of
There's just
my
some
good
things that I just have to say, it's okay. Tomorrow's a new day.
one of my good friends calls this time the extraordinary pause.
Mm.
And I think that's so profound. And also, her husband has created a date every single day at 4 p.m. They go and they travel to a different either park or trail that they have never been to. And they just go for a 4 p.m. walk. And I think that number one, that's super adorable and romantic.
Mm-hmm. It
But
is. It is.
of course, that's a great thing to do during this extraordinary pause is take time to go explore locally, to check out the parks and take those steps. I mean, it's so great. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, and there's lots of areas where I've thought about how can I use this reset, as some people have called it. So I've learned some new skills. I've started, actually, the blessing for me, being able to now work remotely, and making that adjustment. So there's, I think, lots of different learning opportunities throughout. So for me, the self-care message that I was sharing is something that, I want for everyone, right? So, and sometimes I want things maybe more than the person wants themselves. So I have to learn to, like, all right, it's got to be when that person's ready.
Right.
So those are some of the things that I think that have really, kind of grounded me during this time, for sure.
Can you say that quote again? Because I think it's just so profound also about health.
So the mantra that I use, this is on my LinkedIn profile as well, is living a healthy lifestyle one step at a time.
It's beautiful. I love that. And do you have any quotes that inspire you besides that one?
I do. So a colleague of mine, I'll share a little bit later on. We're both involved with the Peekskill NAACP, and his name is Martin McDonald. We are co-chairs for economic empowerment. And he has shared this phrase a number of times. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That's an African proverb. Again, speaks to community, right? There are things that I could be doing on my own, but how amazing is it, and how much more impactful is it when we're able to take a journey together?
Absolutely. That is very inspiring.
Go together.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So tell us, what are you up to these days?
Well, because life is not busy enough, I decided, I had to really think about, what were some ways I wanted to really just explore. And the notion of business and entrepreneurship is something 5 years ago I would have said, that's not me, not happening. But life has shown me something different. And being around various folks who are in different stages of their businesses has really inspired me. And I began a course. I applied for this program, and I'm so happy to have been selected. I'm part of the initial cohort. It's Asaning Innovates. And this is a business accelerator program. It's a really cool partnership. Asaning Innovates has partnered with the Women's Enterprise Development Center, WEDC,
yeah.
Short. And we began April 13th. Unbeknownst to us, we went from what was to be an in-person class on Monday nights to this virtual program. And so the commitment is for a year. It's a 16-week initial course, but they have, the co-founders, Abby and Henry, have infused some really, really talented, smart, amazing. I was trying to find out the word from amazing, but they are. Some amazing guest speakers. They've matched us with mentors. They've given us such rich content. And so I'm thankful, because it's allowed me to think about some of the freelance work that I've done in the past, and now to think about what are some of the steps that I can use to actually launch my own business. And so I'm still in that process of being able to build out some of my business model, but that's definitely been a big part of the last 3 months of learning, if you will.
I love that. I think WEDC is one of those organizations that everyone should hear about, because they teach entrepreneurs not only to, like, start a business, but to talk about cash flow and understanding that you can do anything, but if there's no cash flow, it's just a hobby. It's not a business. And they do such a great job of eloquently teaching you the whole entire process, start to finish.
That's right. And they're right in our backyard. So what a gift for us. Asaning Innovates. One of the things that was really impressive is the fact that it wasn't about your zip code. So you don't need to be from Asaning. You didn't have to be, you could actually literally come from wherever, considering it's a virtual program. But they're about inclusive, and they're about access, so that all of us can have the tools and try to figure out, what that path looks like. So there's a whole range, from folks who are early stage business to folks who are seasoned. And Wetsy, similarly, they range from early startup to established businesses. And when I look in terms of their seminars, it's, again, folks, I think, need to tap into this resource. They're online.
Absolutely.
And so certainly folks could Google either Ossining Innovates or Wetsy, but see what's there. I mean, they've really set a nice table. So it's really a matter of people coming to the table.
I love that. I'm very involved with businesses and young entrepreneurs, young businesses, older businesses. I love supporting small business, especially in my backyard. And Wetsy and Ossining Innovates are also doing the same thing. And I think it's just so I don't want to say amazing now because you said that. So I think it's so inspiring, which I also don't think is a very powerful word for what I want to say, but that you don't have to go to New York City or to another area. We have it right in our backyard here in Westchester, and there's just so much more than the ones that we just named of opportunities for people. And I think that that's fantastic that you were able to tap into that. And I'm excited to see what comes out of it.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'm really excited.
You know, for me, it's been about empowerment, and part of that is knowledge and being able to make a decision that's informed. And so I certainly, you know, my cohort, we've got some, you know, fantastic folks, and being able to learn from one another. So again, that whole group experience, right? Want to go? I don't want to go it alone. And so certainly I'm able to kind of speak to that African proverb of going together, right? We can go further together.
And promise me, I'm going to hold you to this, but promise me that you will stay in touch with the people that you're in the class with, because it doesn't matter if some of you don't end up doing the business that you're in there for. Staying together and keeping in touch is so important. I know I did the Wetsy program 4 years ago, and I met some amazing women, and I'm still in touch with them to this day, and they still inspire me to this day. Obviously, we're not getting together as often as we did before, but we still stay in touch, and I think that that's very important. Stay in touch with those people, keep being inspired by those people. We have a few people that have come in. So Stacey Clark says, hi, Liz and Sami. And then my mom, always inspiring, says, Liz, go for it. If you ever need a little pep talk, my mom's always got your back.
I need that. Thank you, Helena. Thank you.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
So
it's about support.
It definitely is. So how can people connect with you if they want to connect with you?
Well, one of the easiest ways would be LinkedIn. So you can certainly search for me by my name, Elizabeth L. Phillips. That L's important. Otherwise, you're going to get the artists and the doctors, and, you know, there's a lot of Elizabeth Phillips out there, but they're not me. No. So that would probably be the quickest thing. And my email's on there, so I do respond.
That's awesome. And you did respond to me when I reached out, because I mean, I know that we're friends through Toastmasters, but I haven't talked to you in like at least a year, I would say. And I wanted to reach out to you because you are so positive, and I just feel like you would be such a wonderful dose of sunshine for everybody here watching. And I want to support you in any way that I can, because you are an awesome person. You are I gotta come up with better adjectives, because awesome, to me, it's like such a great adjective, but now that you pointed that out, I gotta stop saying it. You are a sunshiny, bright star in anybody's life, so I appreciate you being here on A Dose of Sunshine and giving us your time.
Well, thank you, Sami. I do appreciate this, and I wanted to be much more, you know, intentional about connecting with folks, and that's something that I'm continuing to work on, because relationships, they need nurturing, they need cultivating, right? They don't just happen. So I appreciate this invite. I also wanted to share, because we were talking a little bit about self-care, and that's, to me, the other piece I recognize, because I'm also a caregiver for my parents, in terms of their needs, that self-care is not selfish. So one of the things that I make a point is I use a devotional. That's a great way for me to meditate. And there's also a really cool app on Spotify. So I don't know if you're a Spotify fan, but if not, just to check it out. It's called, there's a couple, one on wellness, the daily wellness, the shine. We were talking earlier about breathing and the need to be able to release. And so those are things that, again, I incorporate it. Sometimes it may be the end of the day. I try to make it at some point during those 24 hours that we have to spend some time, even if it's 5 minutes, just allowing me to appreciate where I am, taking that breath.
I love that. I actually learned to create daily rituals with your daily activities. So someone told me to do it when you brush your teeth, but that doesn't really work for me because I'm not all there in the morning. But when I hop into the car, before I leave to go someplace, I have my own little meditation process.
Yes.
So
Yes.
a lot of times I'm rushing to do something and I have to stop myself, and creating that space of the minute I enter a car, as long as I'm alone. I mean, obviously my husband would think I'm a weirdo if I started doing that, but when I'm alone, which I am often in a car alone, I will have like a space of meditation, and it's done wonders for me.
Yes, yes, excellent. That's it, right? Figuring out what works for you. So, but that was just something I discovered again while sheltering in place. I was like, this cool app, the Shine.
This extraordinary pause has definitely created opportunities for self-care. I mean, you kind of have to force it into your schedule because you are home all the time. So it gives you an opportunity to see, okay, what can I do now to help myself? So it's been very good for a lot of people. So anyways, thank you so much for coming on. You are amazing and inspiring and captivating, and I'm so lucky to call you my friend. If anyone would like to connect with her, again, just check her out on LinkedIn and friend her on LinkedIn, connect with her. And for those of you watching, please join us every Friday morning for a dose of sunshine at 9:30. We will have amazing guests just like Liz. And thank you again. I appreciate you spending time with me today.
I'm so thankful. Same to you, Sami. You are a dose of sunshine. So thank you for your generosity in every way.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.